Welcome, everybody, to Two Fools in Fantasy Football. We are here for our second video of 2022. Today, we will be talking about our underrated players and our overrated players.
Ooh.
These are based off of our likes and dislikes of the projections for ESPN for the 22 season.
Yes.
So Tyler will give you he'll give you his underrated players. They're underrated to where they are ranked, and then I will give you my unders, and then we will give you our overs. So as always, I am Marty McFly, and with me as always is Tyler, the uncool fool. And remember, everybody, like, share, subscribe, please. Let's get it going. Let's get it going for 2022 season. I know we've been away for a while, but we will start doing more videos more often. We promise. Sorry for the delay. Take it away, Tom.
Scout's honor. We promise. We'll do more videos. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Ruxin's honor. Because he knew how to do a Cub Scout tie. So just ask Pete or tall guy. Depends what character you were you want to portray. Say tall guy. All right. Anyways, so Marty said we are going to do our undervalued first. I have 5 names to give to you. Number 1 from the almighty Green Bay, Wisconsin, aka the Packers, AJ Dillon, running back for them right now as of ESPN's PPR ranking. He is ranked number 95. That is awfully low for somebody who is very valuable, who was a 1-2 punch in the Packers backfield last year. And for those who forgot, when Aaron Jones was out, AJ Dillon ran wild. He did carry your team for a couple of weeks. Number 95 is way too low for that guy. Obviously, the Packers had a very interesting season with losing their best playmaker on the offensive side. With that being said, look for the Packers to run the ball more, control the clock, control the game. Since they have a little bit of a less weapons to choose from, look for AJ Dillon to get the rock a lot more this year, being his 3rd year in the offense and 3rd year at Green Bay. The next guy who is highly undervalued is Gabriel Davis, wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, aka the Buffalo Mafia. So this guy is absolutely a stud. If you saw him in the playoff, you know one thing that he has with Josh Allen, and that starts with a C. Marty, you want to take a guess what he has with Josh Allen that starts with a C?
Companionship?
Kind of. I was going to say chemistry.
Ah, okay.
Chemistry. On the football field, they know where each other's at. They are very good at what they're doing. You don't score 4 touchdowns in a playoff game by accident. Just doesn't happen that way. If you don't believe me, go check the record books. Go ahead. I'll wait. Did you check?
I did.
Did you find anything?
I found nothing.
You found nothing? That's because he is up there by himself. 4 touchdowns in the playoff game. Last year, if you did see him play in the last 8 weeks, he absolutely got better and better and better. His offensive role expanded as Emmanuel Sanders was going on the opposite end of that. So minus for one guy, plus for another guy. So look for Gabriel Davis to absolutely blow up in the Buffalo Bills offense this year. Look for him and Josh Allen to have a very strong connection. And 58, in my personal opinion, is just way, way, way too low. If I'm going to target this guy, at the end of the year, I'm probably going to look at this guy as a 3rd or 4th round guy. That's where I can see him going, and that's where I think he should be ranked at this time, and not 58th, where we're looking at the 5th or 6th round, depending if you're doing a 10 or 12 team league. Next guy who I am extremely high on and who is very undervalued is Michael Pittman Jr., wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, going from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan is, I don't want to say a huge upgrade, but it is definitely an upgrade. Matty Ice is a veteran. He knows the offense. He's been around. Once he gets the verbiage down, he is going to have a receiver like Pittman. I'm not going to say he is like Julio Jones, because Julio Jones is one of a kind, but he is, I would say, maybe a poor man's version of Julio Jones in the sense that he can do everything Julio did. A little bit smaller, obviously. 3rd-year guy in his prime. And Pittman, coming out of USC, was drafted a little bit lower than he wanted to in the 2nd round, and he's got a little chip on his shoulder. And look for this year for that chip to be knocked off, and he's got the right quarterback to find him. And this year, Pittman, just look for him to explode. This year, he should be at least a top 10 receiver, maybe even a top 5, depending on what happens with DeVante Adams and also Tyreek Hill in their new digs in their new city. So Michael Pittman, ranked 37, way too low. If you can get him in the second round, early third round, jump on him, and you'll have no regrets whatsoever. Next guy who is ranked way too low with his body work is Nick Chubb, running back for the Cleveland Browns. We all know what is going on with their quarterback situation. We're not going to really get into that or talk about it. All we're going to do is focus on Nick Chubb. We know the man can run. We know they have a top 5 offensive line. We know the Browns like to run the ball. That is their bread and butter. With that being said, look for Nick Chubb to absolutely have a great year again this year at age 26, who is still in his, prime running back years, quote unquote, because, obviously when you're 22, you're in your prime running back for years for being a running back, But look for Nick Chubb to keep on going along. The Browns know how to use him. They know his strengths. Look for him to keep going on their strengths. Look for him to go behind the offensive line. 33 to me is too low. I can see him going as high as a second round draft day, depending on your league. 12-man PPR, 10-man PPR. So just a little too low for my liking for the ESPN rankings. And the last guy I'm going to talk about, another running back, DeVante Williams, running back for the Denver Broncos. I know, right? Just forgot his name just for a second. Sorry, man. I should probably know their name if I'm going to make sure he's in my list of undervalued. But no, he's ranked number 20 on ESPN. Obviously, he is an absolute stud. Last year, his rookie season, him and Melvin Gordon, the second, had a tremendous 1-2 punch. It's only going to get better in Denver this year with the arrival of Russell Wilson. Having a quarterback of Russell Wilson's level opens up the entire offense. You're going to have better receivers. You're going to have better running backs. The line's going to be better. All around the offense is going to be better. They feel in Denver, that was the last piece they needed to get over that hump. Look for Williams to have an absolute monster year. He's obviously going to take Gordon. He's going to overtake Gordon this year in the role of running back for the Denver Broncos. Look for him to be, in my opinion, a top 5 running back when it's all said and done this year. He will be a first-round draft pick. He will be a top 5 draft pick taken overall in the year 2023. Mark that down. He is just going to have a just absolute beast mode year this year. I would take him personally over some of the other running backs who are actually going in the first round, and I'm actually going to mention one when we come back with our overvalued. So stay tuned for that. So now I'm going to flip this over to Marty, and Marty is going to talk about his undervalued team, the guys that he thinks need to be ranked higher going into the 2022 season PPR. Marty, take it away.
Okay, but my first one's actually going to be really quick. Mine was DeVante Williams as well. Totally agree with you on that. With some of the other running backs that are ranked above him, some I wouldn't touch at all. One being White Lightning out of Carolina. 2 injury prone. The guy gets hurt all the time. Najee Harris, not going to touch him. With a new quarterback in that system, without Big Ben there, not going to do it. Alvin Kamara always gets hurt. So Leonard Fournette, not that too reliable. So yeah, I'd rather take DeVante Williams ahead of all of them. Plus, he's got that number 3, Russell Wilson, playing with him. So it's just a no-brainer. I'd take DeVante Williams over a lot of other running backs that are ranked higher than him. My next one, I got a lot of running backs in my list here. My second one, coming from my boys, Tony Pollard. The guy's ranked way too low at 96. If you can, I've done a couple mock drafts, and me and Tyler have actually already done a way too early draft as well. And I think I got Pollard in the 9th round is for my bench. Like, to get him in the 9th round on your bench, like, that's just sick. It's stupid. Like, I'm not saying overdraft him. I'm not saying that at all. But if you can get him in the 7th, 8th, if you just want to take the risk, get him in the 8th round, 7th round, get him. He's going to get – him and Zeke are going to be like that 1-2 punch of Dillon and Aaron Jones in Green Bay that were last year. They're going to share time. I think Zeke will probably get 800 yards maybe, and Pollard will have probably around 700 yards. They'll each – like Zeke might have 6 touchdowns and Pollard might have 5. But, they're going to be neck and neck. So if you think about Zeke, I'd get Pollard instead because Pollard doesn't get hurt. Zeke does. So I hate saying that because they're my boys, but it is what it is. Next on my list, wide receiver out of Kansas City. MVS, Marquise Valdez-Scantling. I think he's way undervalued at 130. There's so many other good receivers. There's so many other receivers I would not take over him at 130. If you can get him you can get him and you can easily get him in the 10th, 11th round. That's a steal. If you can get him before that, get him before that. But with the department of Tyreek Hill out of Kansas City, people sleep on him because he didn't get that many touches with Green Bay. But the dude's fast. He's quick. He's not as fast as Tyreek Hill, but he is quick. So look for him to get a lot of touchdowns from good old Patty Mahomes up in Kansas City this year. And my last one that I have is running back for Baltimore, Gus Edwards. Him and Dobbins are a 1-2 punch as well. And Gus is ranked at 175. Like, the kickers are ranked higher than he is. And a couple of defenses are ranked higher than he is. I think getting him at a late round pickup, if Dobbins does go down, he's the next guy up in Baltimore. So still him in the 15th, 16th round.
Yeah, one more point on that. They're both coming off ACL surgeries too as well. So I love that at 175 because Dobbins ain't going to see the work. He ain't going to see the full work this year. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So what do you want to do? You want to get a guy 35th overall in the 3rd round, or you want to get a guy basically in the 13th round? And they're probably going to produce pretty close to the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very, very easy. So, all right, Mario, thank you so much for your underrated team. We appreciate it so far. And one other comment, when Marty was talking, that I was thinking in my head also too about the Cowboys. They're loaded this year on offense. They are. They got weapons upon weapons upon weapons. And I was thinking, like, who in the NFC East has a good defense? And the answer is nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the Eagles; they don't have much of a defense. You look at the Giants. Okay, enough said there. So we'll just skip that topic overall. And then who am I missing? The Washington football team, right? Or what are they? Are they the Commanders now? Yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah, I missed that. I missed that email. Yeah. So the Washington Commanders, their front 4 have all 1st round picks, obviously, so they're going to be pretty good with that. But the rest of their defense is, Tony Pollard can catch a ball or two out of the backfield too, so they'll definitely use him in the right way, especially the Dallas Cowboys. They'll definitely find a way to get him the ball. Cool. So awesome, Marty. Thank you so much. And now we're going to go over to my overrated team here. I got 5 on the list, and all of my guys are in the top 100. So I'm going to start from the bottom up. So number 67 on my overrated list is Allen Robinson II. Obviously, he is a new toy for the LA Rams. Allen Robinson II had a terrible year with the Chicago Bears last year. Obviously, the rest of his career does not reflect what happened last year. There was a lot of turmoil, a lot of finger pointing. He obviously did not want to be there. They did not want him there. So that was kind of a very ugly, muddled relationship last year. Allen Robinson, don't get me wrong, he's a very good fantasy player. 67 is a little bit too high just for my liking. And the reason why I say it is because the Rams have this little guy named Cooper Kupp. You might have heard of him. Last year, he broke every receiving fantasy football record of all time. He's pretty good. The Rams have a very complete offense, and they're also getting their running back back this year off their torn Achilles in Cam Akers, and they're going to feed him a lot this year too as well. So Allen Robinson, to me, is just slightly overrated. I can see him more in like the 90s to 100. I think that's a more appropriate area for Allen Robinson to be in. The next guy, Marty did touch on it by talking about Tony Pollard. I have Zeke the Freak Elliott coming in. He is ranked number 34 right now for the Dallas Cowboys. That to me is a little bit too high for everything, just because Zeke has been coming down he's coming off a couple of down years, in my opinion, for seasons. He has been more injury prone the last couple of years. Of course, you expect that to happen. The first 3-4 years, he never got off the field. He ran every ball. He caught every pass he could from the running back position for the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, being in the NFL, taking all those hits, your body does take a little bit of a toll, to say the least. 34 is a little bit too high for me. If Zeke was somewhere in the late 50s, early 60s, I would be all over him, honestly. In the 5th or 6th round, that would be something that I would feel very comfortable drafting Zeke in. In the 3rd round, I just don't feel 100% comfortable doing that, just with his history, and plus Tony Pollard breathing down his back. And also, too, there were stretches last year Tony Pollard looked like the better running back. Let's just call it what it is. He looked better. He looked fresher. He looked like he wanted the job more. It's just that simple. Next guy we're going to talk about, Wide receiver, Carolina Panthers, DJ Moore, ranked number 32 on the list. This really has nothing to do with DJ Moore's talent whatsoever. This is the quarterback carousel known as the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, they just made a big move yesterday in for Baker Mayfield. Does that really make DJ Moore better? I don't know. Either does Marty. Nobody really knows. But one thing I do know is that the Carolina Panthers have struggled offensively the last couple of years under Matt Rule. Having a different quarterback, does not help. Now we have a new quarterback, learning a new system, learning new players, and then you have to basically mesh from square one again. So that is going to be tough. It's not easy. So DJ Moore for me is a little bit lower. Me personally, if DJ Moore is around 50, 55, somewhere like in that area code, I'd feel very comfortable taking him in the fourth, early fifth round. That would be where I would like it. Third round, just a little bit too much for me. But DJ Moore can be an impact player, but it's just going to be really tough at number 32. The next guy we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about a couple of first round running backs right here. I know a little bit of a spoiler alert, so not trying to give you the whole farm, but we're going to give you a little smidgen. The first guy we're going to talk about is Najee Harris. He's ranked number 8 in ESPN's PPR ranking. The reason why he's just a little bit too high for me is because they're going to have no quarterback or a very limited quarterback, depending if Kenny Pickett wins that job. With that being said, they did not a whole lot to improve that offensive line. Najee Harris obviously is an absolute talent. He's an absolute stud for running back. This is no knock on him whatsoever. This is a knock on the pieces around him. Who's going to be the quarterback? Who's going to block for him? He's going to get holes. What's going to happen here? It's just a little too high. If he was ranked probably around 20, 25, I'd feel very comfortable taking him. But seeing that he is so young and he had a great year last year, he is going to be overranked. And somebody in your league, I promise you this, will take him before number 8. So don't get too carried away. Don't get too hyped up. If you're in a keeper league or if you're in a one-year league where you redraft every year, if you miss out on Najee Harris, don't be too sad. Don't get too up or too down about it. He is just slightly overranked. And the guy who is the most overranked player on ESPN's top 100 PPR for me is Christian McCaffrey, the running back for the Carolina Panthers. And again, this is no knock on the talent. This is the knock on being available. He's not available, plain and simple. He's missed tons of games over the last 2 years. He's not available. He's not the same guy that he was a couple years ago when he was there for all 16 games. And it's just one of those questions where if I draft him third overall, like ESPN has, or in the first round, what am I going to get for him? Am I getting 6 games? Or am I getting 16? Am I getting 7 games? Like what's the number you're going to get? And are you getting 2 games? Yeah. Are you getting 2 plays? Like, you don't know.
Right.
So you got to ask yourself that question, is getting that guy at number 3 worth the risk, or 2 or 1, depending on where you rank him? Is it worth it? That's what you got to ask yourself. To me personally, no. To me, if Christian McCaffrey, I know this is going to come to a surprise for a lot of people, but if he's ranked in the 3rd round, I'm all over it. I feel comfortable enough in the 3rd round taking Christian McCaffrey. And it's really weird that I say that because, Marty, do you know what running back who was injury prone last year and the year before you can take in the 3rd round right now? That was a first round, number 1, number 2 pick the last 2 years.
Who?
Saquon Barkley.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So think about that. You have two running backs who basically have the same history, who are in the same boat, except for Saquon's younger, but the one's 3 and one's 34.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you think about it like that, if I'm looking at like just purely just off of injury, off of history, stuff like that, I'd feel comfortable taking Barkley, but I wouldn't feel comfortable taking McCaffrey. But if McCaffrey was that where Barkley is, sign me up all day. I'll take that risk. Even if I get 5 games, 3rd rounder, if he gets me 25 points a game, dude, hey, I'm cool with 5. I'm cool with winning at least 5 weeks like that. That's just how I break it down. But so yeah, those are my top 5 overrated players on ESPN's top 100 PPR. And now Marty is going to give us his top 4 overrated players on ESPN's PPR.
I want to add one more to my under, if I can, right now.
Absolutely. The floor is all yours.
And I'm sorry to do this, but another one that's underrated, and he comes from my boys, is Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
I did in one of my mock drafts, or the one league we did, I think I got Michael Gallup in the 14th round. Dude, you get him in the 14th round, you've stolen the draft. That kid is so good. so many other receivers are ranked higher than him that are not as good as him. He's the number 2 in Dallas behind CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb gets doubled, boom, you're going to Michael Gallup. I mean,
all day.
If you can get him in the 12th, 13th round, get him. No doubt about it. If you want to draft CD in the 2nd round and then Michael Gallup in the 14th round, do it. Start him for 16 games. Done.
Yep. Well, what's crazy to me is how many rookies, guys who are unproven, you have no idea what you're getting, are ranked high. I think it's got to be like almost 10, which is insane. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I forget the rookie's name for New Orleans who got drafted. They rank him like 98, 99, and they have Gallup that low. It makes zero sense. It doesn't. I don't understand it. But whatever. It's cool. Just me speaking out loud. Just the uncool fool.
Okay. So thank you, Tyler, for those. And so now to my overs. I'm going to kind of go with Tyler. I'm going to go from the bottom up. My number 1 overhyped, but I'm doing 4. So my number 4th overhyped guy, Christian Kirk for Arizona. He's ranked 88 all over.
Jacksonville.
Oh, sorry, Jacksonville. I forgot he went to see. That's how much I don't know about the kid. He went to Jacksonville.
He took the money and ran. He took the money and ran the other side of the United States.
And so I'm looking at players that are ranked that are below him, and you got Kenny Golladay, Alan Lazard, Tyler Boyd. I talked about him earlier. Marquise Valdez-Scantling are ranked below him. Even Gallup is like 20 people behind him. Is ridiculous. Don't waste your time on Christian Kirk. Yes, he's fast. Yes, he's quick. He can catch the deep ball. But guess what? Don't draft him. Just don't. Just don't do it.
Let one of your league mates make that mistake.
Yeah. Let somebody else in your league make that mistake. And next on my list, we're going to Chi-Town for another receiver. And Darnell Mooney. I think he's way overhyped. Everybody's thinking that Justin Fields is going to come out being Aaron Rodgers. It's not happening. He's not. Sorry. But these are the players that are ranked behind Darnell Mooney. Chris Godwin, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett. Tyler talked about it earlier. Gabriel Davis, Michael Thomas, Hunter Renfrow. All these players are ranked behind that kid. Draft any of them before you draft that guy because it's still Chicago and it's still Chicago. So there you go.
Dub Bears. They suck.
Dub Bears. Yeah, it's still Chicago and it's still Chicago.
That's awesome.
Next on my list, we're going to the running back for Green Bay, Mr. AJ Aaron Jones. Ranked way too freaking high on this.
Yep.
He's number 21. He's ranked 21. Way too high compared to his counterpoint, who is where'd you say he was ranked?
He's not ranked number 95, Mr. AJ Thunder Thighs, Thunder Quads, the man
Dillon.
with beast legs, Dillon.
Yeah. 21 and 95. And they're going to have the same numbers.
Just about.
Oh, my God. What the fuck is ESPN thinking about? Sorry for my language, but what the fuck are they thinking about?
You can say WTF. It's okay, man. We can clean it up for the kids.
Oh, my gosh. And so, anyway, that's my take on that. Aaron Jones was my boy's boy for like 3 years in the draft.
Yeah, I loved Aaron Jones back in the day. It's the time where you just gotta switch.
Every year, like, oh well, hey, Aaron Jones available. Look, Tyler's coming up. Tyler's going to take him.
Well, yeah, sixth round guy. He knew what he was going to do.
Worked for him for a couple of years, but then the last 2 years, it's got to bit him in the ass.
No, I didn't take him last year. I want nothing to do with him last year.
So, anyway, that's my number 3 guy, and my number 1. Sorry to say, number 17, DeVante Adams out of Las Vegas.
Nah, that's weird to say.
Sorry to say it, but he's ranked 9th. Too high for him.
Too high. Absolutely.
He is still DeVante Adams. Yes, he's still DeVante Adams. He's still DeVante Adams. But guess what? Derek Carr's not Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Derek Carr is not on the same planet as Aaron Rodgers.
No, nobody is.
So if you're expecting DeVante Adams to just fit right into Las Vegas and sit there and what is he projected at? He's projected at 1,156 yards and 7 TDs this year.
That high? Wow, that's pretty good.
He's projected at that much. I don't think he's going to get that much because you've Derek Carr throwing to Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. And
Waller. Dude, let's just be honest. Waller's a baller, dude. He's a friggin' baller when he's healthy.
Yeah.
He's friggin' incredible. Absolutely awesome.
Him tossing the ball to Waller, Renfrow. You also have him tossing it to freaking Jacobs out of the backfield.
Let's just put it this way. He's ranked 100 points lower than what he got last year on their projections. So that tells you all you need to know. 100 points lower. So tread very lightly with DeVante Adams.
And I'm looking at projections here. DeVante Adams projected at 7 TDs. Hunter Renfrow's projected at 6. And Darren Waller's projected at 5.
Oh, that's too low for Waller.
So they're
way too low.
They're roughly getting the same amount of TDs.
Yeah, but they always go low on that. I think Adams will get 10, Waller will get 10, Renfrow will probably get like 5 or 6.
Right.
That's probably. I mean, Derek Carr is going to throw at least 25 touchdowns this year.
True.
Let's just be honest. At least they'll probably throw like more like 40.
But yeah, if you're expecting DeVante to be the DeVante he was with Green Bay, you're sorely mistaken, and you're severely disappointed. So sorry, but you will be. So DeVante Adams is my number one overranked player. I mean, players above him yet. Draft Justin Jefferson in the first round, Jamar Chase, get them. But right behind DeVante, you got Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb. You got those players. I would draft them before I would draft DeVante Adams. Why? Because Deebo's already been playing with Jimmy G and Trey Lance.
Yep.
CeeDee's been playing with Dak for 2 years already.
CeeDee will be a top 5 receiver this year.
Yeah. I mean, yes, Tyreek is new in Miami with Tua, but still, it's also Tyreek Hill. Sorry. But and then going even further down the list, you got Keenan Allen playing in L.A. with Herbert. So they're third year together. You got T. Higgins catching the ball from Burrows after their amazing season they had last year. I mean, and I know he's not Tyler's favorite. We got Mike Evans catching the ball from Tom Brady for the third season in a row.
Yeah.
So, I would go with. I'm sorry. I wouldn't take DeVante Adams in the first round unless you're in a 12-team league and you get him at 12, and then you get him at 12, and then you get your 13th pick. You take Derek Carr, you take Darren Waller at 13. You take the two receiver, the number 1 and number 2 receiver in Las Vegas. All right. Yeah, no. To make Marty's point, I think what he's just saying is basically there's a bunch of receivers to choose from. It's very deep. It's extremely deep this year. I mean, you could go down the list and you could draft Gabriel Davis in the 58th overall. Gabriel Davis, just saying Gabriel Davis. In case you guys forgot his name, Gabriel Davis. I'm just saying, like, not a big deal. Like, I'm just letting you guys know who to draft. Just to let you guys know. So, anyways, we got to wrap this up. I'm sorry we're short on time here, guys, but thank you so much for checking us out. Please like, subscribe, share, add. Two Fools in Fantasy Football. I am Tyler, the Uncool Fool Greer. This is my partner in crime, Marty McFly. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Please share the loves. Let everybody know so they can subscribe and check us out too as well. And check out our advice and help you conquer your league and have a great draft and absolutely get off on the right foot this year. And we will see you next week with another video.
Yes, we'll see you hopefully sooner than that. We're going to try to push it a little bit more than that. So,
right.
But anyways, anybody have a great night, and we will talk to you soon. Two Fools in Fantasy Football. Please like, subscribe, share, and add. See you soon.